Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Force Lines Forever. Today I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. Let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 to the western side of the map, ending with Team 2 on the eastern side of the map. Starting off with the northernmost player of Team 1, it is SPCR going first, land in Pac-Man Yellow as a UBF. He is a 1400 to his southeast in Chevy Crimson. Another UEF for Team 1. It is Zardos going first land, and he is a 1000 rated player to his southwest. Another red player for Team 1 and another UEF player for Team 1. We have Maximus Triple X going first land as a 1500. To his southeast, the first non-UEF player of Team 1, it is Hurry P going first land in Imperial Gray as an Aeon. And of course, he is a 1300. And last but not least, for Team 1, the other great player of Team 1, it is Signal Runner going first to air as a Seraphim in Batman Gray. And he is a 1400. So for Team 1, we have 3 UEF, an Aeon, and a Seraphim. No Cyberns for Team 1. To their east, we have Team 2, and starting off with the southern player for Team 2, it is Gamer9 Triple X going first land in Light Oak Tan as an Aeon, and he is a 1300. To his north in Snow White, we have Frost Monster going first land as a Seraphim, and he is an 1100. To his northeast in Orange, the color orange, we have Raw Legit going first land as a Seraphim, and he is a 1600. Also the highest rated player in the game and on Team 2. And we have to the northwest the Emerald Green player of Ryan T going first land, second air, most likely with that configuration. He is a 1300. He is UEF, and he is an Emerald Green. And last but not least, for Team 2 in the east, we have Rosako going first land, second air, and he is in Rust. I still haven't determined if I'm keeping that name or not. I just like it. I don't know what it is, but I just like it being Rust for some reason. I don't know why it is. I just feel like Rust fits that color pretty well. I've had other people talk about, it's probably like a burnt orange, which I see it, but I still feel like Rust is still a good color name for my opinion. And he is a 1300. And for Team 2, before all the fighting gets on, they have 2 Seraphim, 2 UEF, and 1 Aeon. No Cybern for either team. Apologies to the spiky space socialists of the community. And in terms of mass still remaining on the map in forms of reclaim, we have 14,700, so probably about 15.5, maybe even 16,000 max. So maybe 1,500 per players or per player, maybe. But in terms of mass point layouts, there is a decent, grouping of mass points along the southern and northern side. We have a couple in the middle, and we have a couple of ponds in the middle as well. So essentially, we'll have a north lane and a south lane, and a couple of we'll see some action with some floating nonsense in the middle, but I don't expect that early on. I mostly expect kind of maybe some PD along the coast, along the beach, I should say, and that's probably it. And on the plateaus, there isn't a lot of mexes to go after, just one on each side. So not going to be a lot of fighting up there. It's going to be more on that main land level, altitude, plane, whatever word you want to use for it. We're going to see a lot of action here to the south and to the north. But there is a quad forming of mexes to the north and to the south. And we already see transport from both teams going after that, one out from Rosako and one out from Signal Runner. Going to provide a nice vantage point to that eastern side of the map for him. And there is a couple of units already on this eastern side kind of clearing the way for his units going after engineers here. One of them on a mechs collection or building order, but he's going to die. This other one over here to the east is going to die. But there are a couple of Aurora coming in to intercept mechs. Sorry, not mechs. It's engineers dropped out to the west. And we have some units dropped here in the middle to build at least one mass extractor. And then I was going to say probably some land facilities after that. T2 already on the way here for Gamer9. Wants to provide some nice PD and shields and nice kind of fire basing here. We have a couple of units starting to kind of maybe skate by. Are they going to engage? Maybe. It does look like that Spirit is on its way, targeting that mechs nearby, but that comm is nearby. This position won't fall anytime soon. It's more just harassing at this point for Team 1. And for Team 1 in the West, they are being invaded by the play of Ryan T. We have SPCR versus Ryan T, both UEF. One has a T2 upgrade already, so that's additional 2,000 hit points. And no damage, but we'll build a PD and we'll kind of fend him off. Building T1 first, then T2. To build that T1 pretty quickly and then force Ryan out of range before SPCR builds that T2. We have T2 on the way here for Rosako. So a lot of T2, and we even have T2 on the way for Hurry P. So lots of players on Team 1 and 2 have T2 either in the queue or have already built it. We have a couple of bomber harassing from the Western players of Team 1. Scorchers going after engineers as well as these Sinvi. They're Sinvis. I think that's how you pronounce that in Seraphimese or whatever the language for Seraphim is. We have a nice forward land facility production site producing here for Team 1's player of Signal Runner. And this position isn't going to last very long. It's going to be more of just like a harassment kind of play. It's not going to be long, like a you know, late game, end game kind of play. It's more of, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to annoy him, I'm going to pull units off the front, and then allow me to move from the west to the east. And we already have the sensor package already on the way for Hurry P. I love to watch just the ring of vision that he has, and then once he finishes it, how just incredibly, oh, there it is. Just how ridiculous, just how wide that range is. It's nuts. The sensor package on those Aeons commanders are just, it's just fun to watch. Especially, you know, this map isn't 20 by 20, but it's probably about a 17 on a 10 by 10. That's a huge amount of map percentage that he just sees all the time. But unfortunately here for Gamer 9, yeah, you have a T2 PD, but there are 2 comms with supporting units. And this is not going to go Team 2's way. He needs some reinforcements. Team 1 trying to put the pressure on Team 2 early on the southern side. You know, we have distraction down here with bombers just constantly harassing here to the south. That comm will have to retreat. Doesn't have a lot of forces in tow. Needs at least like 2 more PD to really push this force back. And the Aurora, fortunately for him, are weak in terms of hit points, so they do allow these PD to shoot them. I think it's 1 hit. Yeah, 1 hit kills 3. Nice grouping there. A shot from that PD, but unfortunately Gamer 9 is outnumbered, outmatched, outclassed, out DPS'd, out whatever. And there are even bombers on their way. It looks like Team 1 has a lot of momentum here in the south side of the map. We do have Frost Monster who could come and assist, but he's going for tactical missile here. So probably not. The comm might just hide in the water would be my guess. He's kind of just hanging out. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, there he goes. I don't know if the order was given or not. Maybe he's doing something else. To the north, kind of just a stalemate. Kind of just waving at one another. We have wall sections to the west, PD to the east, and just kind of like, hi, you know, just building a wall, hanging out, you know. Don't need to attack. We'll focus on eco. But the players to the south for Team 1 are really just trying to get as much of the land under their control. And given the fact that this position still hasn't fallen, Team 1 is poised to control the entire southern section of the map, almost 50% of the map. Just cut it across the middle there. But this is a huge advantage for Team 1. They need to either hold it for the foreseeable future, probably for at least 20 or so minutes, or get the reclaim, just kind of build up some X's and just, well, retreat essentially after a little bit, because it is pretty far forward. It's going to take a long time to walk back. You might have some bomber or gunship plays here from Team 1. Sorry, from Team 2, considering there's 2 T2 air facilities already online. Team 1 only has 1 air facility at T2, so it's, you know, that's the downside with being more aggressive here, is that you are not focused on the upgrading of technology. And if Team 2 decides to just do a couple of strat bombers or gunships, Team 1 isn't prepared, and one or both these comms is not really going to look good here pretty soon. But the comm of Gamer 9 will build a PD, defend himself on that shoreline, or sorry, beach side. not an ocean, it's a pond. And a pondish lake. And be able to take this production facility out here real quick. He is gaining some ground here to the east, but it is going to take a while to unseat these two comms here in the middle, especially because we now see the player of Frost Monster really suffering here. He's trying to help his teammate out, but the force is too great. He'll be forced to retreat as well. He's been in the water for a while on that upgrade, but now we have a counter upgrade from Signal Runner. They're both building missiles. We'll see who finishes first. I think Frost Monster doesn't have a lot of mass on his bar. We'll see how Signal Runner is. He has a decent amount of mass in his bar and is staying more positive. So he's able to build that upgrade. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Oh, not too fast. There we go. Stop. There we go. Clicking 4 different buttons at the same time. Yeah, Team 2 getting a lot of build up here to the east. We're starting to see... No, we didn't see T2 units on the ground yet. Oh, well, kind of. There's engineers. There's not any, like, offensive units as of yet. These could be Sparkies, but they're not. So, those combat engineers. Almost the entire, northern section is going to be walled off. I don't know why I can't see that. Maybe because the hologram is too small. But just an entire wall section walling off that southern side of that ocean. Or, sorry, that pond. These are T1 UEF units, so no hover. They can't just, hover over the water there. And Team 1 is deciding to just stick it out and hold. And Team 2's main base of Gamer9 XXX gonna start to, get enclosed more and more. And we have Gamer9 being surrounded as well. That PD was not effective enough. Probably should have built T1 and T2, but decided not to do so. And we do see a T1 PD built by Signal Runner as well. So Team 2's play of Gamer9 really suffering here. That tactical missile did not finish and was canceled. Same thing here for well, no, hold on. No, the upgrade's still going on. It just doesn't show the text over the thing, which is weird. But Maximus XXX going for a tactical missile. 3 tactical missiles in this game so far, but one of them is UEF, which means we could see a Billy Nuke here. But that'd be a really early Billy Nuke at 12 minutes. Usually it's about the 25 minute is usually when I see them, if they're built most of the time. But these units out here from Team 2's play of but Frost Monster I think they tried to shoot at him, but from the Zooey, but he's too deep in the water. You can see how far down he is. It's really hard to target any comms down there except with torpedoes at that point. So those units will retreat and run into units here from Team 1, and they'll be taken out almost immediately. A couple of kills on those Aurora, but not a lot. Team 1 really just all the wall sections. Shield really encompassing this position. They want to hold this triple Mechs point. Get that juicy mass per second. Team 2's player of Gamer9, I play the whole game against 2, while Res team does not really a whole lot. And Gamer9 will take out that PD just as the balance council intended. Yes, just as the balance council intended. Take out that radar. There he goes. Blinding his opponent in the south. We'll be able to eventually rid out his opponent. He does have a large band of units he has to contend with as well, so has to be very wary of that. Doesn't want to be surrounded here with no way to escape. I would like to see some assistance from Team 2, but if missile goes out, I thought it was against that comm, but missile's going out and being assisted by his engineers in the water. Going for Team 2's player, Frost Monsters. Is that... Oh, he's going after those mexes, but the TMDs definitely defend that missile and prevents it landing. Aurora from, actually not Aurora, but Thams and Zooey, of course, here for Team 1's player, Signal Runner, trying to hold off Gamer9, but one facility is down. 4 more to go. Units starting to force these units, Team 2's units forcing Team 1 unit into a corner and forcing them westward. We'll link up with his forces here. Probably should give control over to either... Yeah, Signal Runner should probably get control of those units from Hurry P just so that the micro is a lot better. And they're not, splitting a lot of the attention. But he could just have these on patrol order as well, so it doesn't mean you have to micro them as intensely as other things. But T3 on the way here for the player of Zardos. We focused a lot on the south because that's where a lot of the action is. To the north, I mean, it's just buildup of units, wall sections, tech upgrades. T3 at 15, almost 15 minutes. That's pretty good. facility up here to the north here for Rosako, but I just don't see any aggressive plays. We do see a strat bomber here from Team 2's player of Raw Legit. I don't know where it's going. There are ASFs for Team 1 as well. Don't see any orders for this thing. Oh, ASF are going to catch up to it, and it's dead. I don't know if it got anything before that. Looks like it got one, maybe two T2 mexes, maybe a third. No, I don't think. I don't know. Bomb landed here. Probably just out of range. That bomber wasn't really as effective as Raw Legit probably would have wanted, but, you know, I don't know if it would have been better just to wait. Probably would have been better to go after this position because these comms are so far forward. Signal Runner, of course, has that missile. Hurry P has that huge sensor package. So they really know what's going on. They can see units inbound. There are Ilshis being built up. They are going to be aware of that from Frost Monster. So Team 1's players of Signal Runner and Hurry P have to be very cautious here. If they don't hold this position, well, if they don't build the position up more, they are going to lose it. So it might be better just to retreat and build up some more defenses and and then retreat and just see how long it takes Team 2 to take it. Because now Gamer9 has evicted Team 1 out of this southeastern corner. Units have retreated over the water, and it's not really looking good here in the southeastern corner for Team 1. But if they hold this position, they'll at least deny eco for Team 2. And in terms of eco, at 16 minutes, Team 1 is at almost 100 mass more per second versus their opponents. And that has yielded only, well, not only, but almost 30,000 more mass. So that's 16 minutes. That's pretty decent amount. That's a Monkey Lord's worth. That's actually more than a chicken's worth of mass there. We're even seeing a naval facility being built by Maximus. He is, of course, the UEF, so those governors would be very handy with their missiles. Or if he was Seraphim, the cruisers. But, of course, the governors get all the glory. There are some TMLs and TMDs here, but that missile, just its arc does not... it drops a little bit too short, and that plateau. The second one misses as well. How many of those is he launching per second? That's a lot of missiles. He's non-stop firing those. Has 10 kills on that comm. Only 2,700 mass killed. ASF's fighting over the top of that middle pond. And not really going one way or the other. Some SAM sites being built as well for Zardos. He's building some Ravagers as well to protect his investment. Or sorry, his teammates' investment in the water. Team 2's really got to get something going here. They tried a bomber. That didn't really work. They maybe got like 2 mexes, but that's really about it. Not really that much to write home about. We are at 17 minutes, almost 18. No one has died yet. We've had one-ish close call, but nothing like 200 hit points left kind of thing. Frost Monster getting T2 upgrade. The time they're just jerking around. Doesn't want to like stay... It like tries to finish, stops, tries to finish, stop. There it goes. And T2 has been finished. Get some Utashalas up online. Get some TMDs up online to help just nullify Maximus's, well, tactical missile, but probably soon to be building it. There is a drop here from Team 2's player of Ryan, but it does get shot down before it lands. All of those units are killed off. You know, at this stage, 18 minutes in, probably should have been a T2 transport, even T3, and build like a Continental and drop in some maybe pillars or something. Would have been a little bit more like longer lasting. Wasn't really that. I mean, I understand that would have been kind of a nice play, but there were a lot of units nearby. It really wouldn't have done a whole lot anyways. So the idea was good, but just the execution was not great. We have this, upper plateau base for Team 1, and it not really being assaulted yet. We have a T2 facility as well in terms of the air and the land. So, would like to see some Zooey just up here, just to shoot something up here. But, oh, no, sorry, not Zooey. What would they be? Fervors. It'd be Fervors from the Aeon player. But missiles raining across the map against Team 2. There they go. They get shot down. T3 should be on the cards here for these southern players. Yep, and yep, he went to air. Is going T3 ground here, land pretty soon. 90% there. So Team 1 looking at the better end of the deal down here so far. They've held this position for a decent while now. Team 2 hasn't mounted an offensive yet. I feel like this is enough forces to just shove Team 1 off. There's only one comm left, and more shields are being put up, more defenses are being put up. So I think Team 1 has decided to just, build more defenses and then leave. They don't want to be caught unawares down there. No one wants to be the first comm to be player to be killed off in the game. It's always rough. So, being able to just say, we got our mass worth. We've held it for a while. Not really worried about it now. We do have another bomber out here from Team 2's player of Raw Legit. Here we go. It's another drop. Only kills off one of those mass extractors. Tries to split the difference between all three. Only is able to hit one of them. But, one is better than three. And takes out a couple of engineers. The ASF going after the bomber. The ASF from Team 2 intercepting the... nope, kills it off before. And I don't know what it's going after now. We have a nice, decent Air Force from both players on Team 2. Now it's going after this position. Nope. Oh, there's AA in the area. Don't know where he's going. There's a transport kind of running around the map. Going to take out that T2 Mechs. One bomber cannot take out a T3 Mech, so you think you need two of them. I think it's two of them. This would be a nice grouping if it wasn't under shield coverage. There's another T2 Mechs fully ringed that he can go after, taking out that one. Does he get the engineers? He does not. But at least he halts that mass production. Going after another T2 Mechs down here. This thing has repaid for its own mass and the mass of his brother, who ended up dying earlier on. So good kudos on Raw Legit for redeeming that previous bomber with this new one. Another one is gone, and just assassinating the mass here for Team 1. That's dropping the lead to 80 now. I think it was higher before. I think he's gonna leave with that. I love the fact that Team 2's player of Rosako is covering the bomber for the player of Raw Legit versus his ASF that should be covering. I'm gonna drop on that T2 Mechs. There goes that one. There's another one in line. Oh, waiting, kind of giving it a second, waiting for the bomber to recharge. It's going to draw. Oh, it's still alive. It still has 700 hit points left. Takes out another one. 24 kills on that T3 strategic missile strategic bomber, not strategic missile bomber. And as that 10,000 mass killed has paid for itself fairly well. And we're going to see it launched at this position. We are seeing some missiles being launched at those shields. Some ASF are on the cards here trying to protect their mass investments. Another T2 Mechs is gone. Going to run into some AA from this Redeemer. Gets shot down finally for Team 1. But that is definitely worth the cost. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them still offline. Some of them have already been rebuilt. That is a lot of mass for Team 1 to lose with one bomber. And it's dropped the lead to relatively even. Team 2 is still trying to struggle to keep that 1,000 mass a second. But they're doing a pretty good job. Looks like the invasion is starting to happen. Signal runner sees the threat, goes, I'm good, I'm going to leave now. Could get on. Oh, it's not T2. I was like, could just get on this transport. But there are ASF flying around the map. Does not want to die due to transport destruction. We do have a nice spreading out of Zardos with this AA pressure. They know Team 2 has the advantage in the air, and they're trying to mitigate that with a lot of AA. Especially with these cruisers, and now a bulwark as well. There's a T2 facility that really didn't get to do anything. It was built and then it's going to die without any units built up. T3 units being just kind of harassing Team 2. We even have T3 units in form of Perseus. Perseus will definitely ward off these Titans. Titans trying to just keep mobile while these missile launchers throw at them. E1 bombers targeting the missile launchers. The missile launchers are pretty weak, so using the T1 bombers for T2 units is definitely a good trade there. Does look like this position is starting to be run over, though. Zardos, is pretty close to the water, so he can retreat. Missile is launching. Looks like the TMDs are doing their job, but they're not staying online pretty long. T3 Mechs has been built here. They'll lose that here. Shield has been, constructed and is turned on, protecting this. The tactical nuke is being produced. The Billy Nuke will be seen this game. Love to see those things. They can be very effective against shields. They're just not worth it. but against units, most units in this case, against T3 mexes, they're very effective. So very worth the cost, very much worth the cost of building it and using it if you can use it for a long period of time. But with the missile pressure here from Team 2's player of Ryan, the shield is starting to go down, and even a couple of Yenzine over the water. Zardos not really looking too hot here. Has a couple of T3 PD in the form of these Ravagers, but they're not targeting the Bursty that's right there. It takes out a Demolisher. I think it was Demolisher. Yenzine focusing the Calm. Calm is in the yellow, almost sub 5. Well, now sub 5,000 hit points. The shield is gone. Hurry P builds I think the first experimental of the game. Is it a monkey? It is a Colossus. Wow, Team 1 did not build a monkey. Actually, there is no monkey because there's no Cybrins. So Team 1 didn't build a chicken, or Team 2 didn't build a chicken. So, the first experimental of the game is a Colossus. Not super rare, but it's usually the chicken or the Monkey Lord first. Sometimes we'll see the skip and Monkey Lord go straight to Crab, but I feel like, Monkey Lord's cheap, it's nice, it's, decently, not decently fast, but it's faster than the Crab, and is able to, pump out a lot of damage once you can get it close to the enemy's units. These units will have to be retreated for now. The Titans are just a little bit too much for the Perseus and other units to handle. The missile bombardment has started to occur against Team 2. Team 2's been on the back foot essentially almost this entire game. You see a similar move by Signal Runner that Gamer9 did in trying to take out. That was an interesting shot, curved with those overcharge, but Signal Runner being shot out of the sky by these Nothas, shot from the sky. Nothas, should have had probably a couple more. Bombing run goes in once again, but he's under the water, so those won't be able to target him. Need some Torp bombers to help deal with that calm. Would be surprised to see a couple of those built up pretty soon. But a nice airbase back here by both players, and a Awasha almost going to be in the yellow here. But the only issue I have is they're pretty close. You need to at least maybe put a shielding like here and here to cover both of those air grids. That would kind of be nice for kind of some sharing of resources and whatnot. Don't see any efforts on Team 1 to build any artillery. We do see some Quantum Gateways online. Nice air grid here for Maximus. Don't really see anything for the main base here. Nice production facility here for SPCR. He's pumping out a lot of T3 units. He's putting more of those on the front line to reduce the travel time and the supply lines for his own forces. And eventually the forces of his teammates if he does end up dying. But no one's died at 27 minutes. That's really good for the average player dying before 20 minutes kind of thing. And this base is starting to suffer. The T3 land headquarters is almost gone. A lot of the mexes have been shot at least once. Another tactical nuke should be building here pretty soon. It does take longer, of course, because it's, it does more damage. And it's essentially it's worth more. It will take longer to produce those missiles, but you can see the effect in this. 2 missiles takes out a headquarters, and that's devastating for Team 2's player of Frost Monster. And the Southern players on Team 2 have really just been kicked in the teeth multiple times this game. And that Awasha is done. Team 2, it does look like they have air control. Well, yeah, they have air control. Team 1 hasn't been able to establish a high amount of ASFs. I think Team 2 keeps raiding them with the constant pressure of SAM site / T3AA / mobile T3AA. All of these redeemers. This position, shields do not fall. They're still online. There they go. They fell just right then and there. Just took a second for the thing to impact and damage. But this would be a nice group of units to take out behind this Colossus is the redeemers. I think that's the target. Yep, there they go. There comes the bomb. Takes out not all of them. Oh, there they go. That's weird. Is it delayed? Maybe it's maybe there's like a glitch or something, because the bomb lands, it damages them, and then it did they change how the Awasha works? Interesting. Maybe they changed how it works. Yeah, it looks like there's the initial shot landing, and then there's the after effect, essentially, like a delayed explosion. So some damage. Oh, the bomb didn't drop? That was weird. But the Colossus does run into Ilshis. And even though they're Ilshis, even though they're 2-2, they just shoot so fast. Not the fighter bombers coming in to assist. Hopefully there's not a lot of friendly fire in this mix. Yeah, it does look like it's like a secondary fire mechanic. Interesting. So they've changed it a little bit. Did not know that. And broadswords coming in to assist. That Colossus is now just a mass dump. Team 2 is definitely going to be appreciative over that. We're going to probably go for this defensive position. Oh, no. No, maybe not. We'll see. But large ASF force for Team 2. I would like to see one of the players on Team 2 control the entire Air Force just to micro it a lot better. I mean, maybe give it over to Rod Legit and then have Rosako keep the gunships would probably be the play that I would do. Because essentially Team 1 only has one air player and Team 2 has two. Bomb does drop. Takes out more of those shielding. This position will eventually fall, like I said earlier in the cast, that it's essentially, it's either you keep it and you try to hold it for the entirety of the game, or you build some defenses and just accept the fact that you're not going to be able to hold it forever. And there goes the bomb. Yeah, it does some damage and then does more damage. So yeah, it's like a initial, a primary charge and a secondary charge, the secondary charge being more powerful instead of the bomber just landing its first and only, like, essentially damage at the onset. It's very interesting. I wonder why they changed that. No idea, but that's okay though. You know, different mechanics is always fun. There it goes. It does some damage and then takes out the rest of those. And then this position has been felled once again for Team 2. Team 1 cannot seem to hold that position. Lots of exclusion zones starting to happen. Tactical nuke on top of all those units. That's got to hurt. These units got to keep moving if they're going to feel the, if they don't want to feel the wrath of that calm. He's killed 24,000 mass. Decent amount of mass for a commander, especially with a tactical nuke or a Billy nuke. But ASF's going to fight some not the fighter bombers, and not all of them are going to be taken out before the bombs are dropped. Looks like she's trying to soften up the defenses first. Yep, bombs are dropped. They're taking out the AA defenses. Shields are gone. The Awash are not in position. ASF's going to take out some units just kind of hovering around, but should have had that bomber be probably like right here, but it is not going to engage that. The shield is recovering as we speak, and reconstruction of another one is starting. More AA. Team 1, this player of Signal Runner really wants that position. 31 minutes, no one has died, and that's a decent amount of time between the fact that still no one has died yet, which is, you know, it's surprising. Usually somebody has died. Fat Boy on the front lines for Zardos. Nice artillery weapon. Another Fat Boy up here and a lot of support. I feel like that Awasha bomber should be, you know, changing the lane it currently resides in and goes up north. We do have a push from these Ilshis against the front lines for Team 1. There'll be a nice distraction. The Awasher bomb does go off. The bomber is still online. It is in the red though, but there's it is a dicey choice here. Do you go after the Fat Boys with a lot of this AA pressure nearby? It's a kind of hard choice to make. Is it worth the risk? Essentially, there's a lot of broadswords in the area as well. Billy Nuke goes off trying to take out more and more of those units, softening up that front line. But those Fat Boys are doing a good job of that as well. There goes the Billy Nuke incoming. Kaboom. Takes out decent chunky units. Takes out some hit points as well. That Awash is only going to get one bomb. Oh, maybe it'll get a second one. Oh, lands. Takes out a heck of a lot of Titans. There they go. That is all the Titans on the northern side. The only ones protected were the ones under shield coverage. A nice grab by Team 2's player of Raw Legit. Nothing is killed. 52,000 mass. 97 kills. We're still waiting to see the 500,000 bomber from that earlier cast. I think it was last month. Nathas are on the case. They're going after the Fat Boys now. One is pushing forward. One is retreating. But one is retreating into friendly AA territory. Those look like ASFs are being built up by Team 1's play of SPCR. But the gunships starting to roam the map up in the north, deal economic damage against their opponents. Team 1 still in the lead at 1.9 mass per second. Engineers being the target of those broadswords. All that flak is just being annihilated. There are some T3 AA defenses and these flares, but the bulk of those defenses are being just eradicated. Targeting anything that can shoot at it first, and then targeting anything else. That Fat Boy is almost dead too. I didn't even notice Team 2 built that. That Billy Nuke really doing a number on that Fat Boy. We also see reclaim efforts here by Team 1, and essentially just a lot of trying to spread that AA. They know if they win the air battle, they'll be pretty good this game. They're winning ground. That bomber is still alive. It's back in the yellow. I would not be surprised to see Team 2 build another one, but they have not. They're building more mass fab farms and the like. These gunships need to be microed, because now we have a triad firing at a broadsword. That's not really what you want to do. And now the ASFs come in. Team 2's player of Rosako needs to manage these a little bit better. They are the best gunship in the game for DPS against ground units, so really needs to just keep these, keep them moving, keep them firing, or take them out, get them out of dodge. I'll watch the bomber. I think just sitting back and wrapping up hit points is almost at 50% of its hit point capacity. And another experimental down south. It is a chicken going after some sniper bots on those little 4 legs. Reminds me of those Cybern units with the little spider legs. But I think they're outpacing the chicken. And if they stop moving, that's not great for them. But they are still doing damage to that chicken, so it keeps this line going. But they stop moving, and there goes one, and there goes the other one. So had a chance there, but maybe they were moving at the same speed. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes. But bomb does land, takes out the shield. SPCR takes some fire as well. One more bomb will probably cement this position as being not livable for the foreseeable future. Awasha Bomber is coming in. There's not a lot of ASF coverage here for Team 1, and most of them are down south anyways. Bomber incoming. SPCR gets a transport out just in the nick of time. Get out of dodge. That position collapses. The Fat Boy, I think it died down. One of them died down here. The other one died right here. Reclaim efforts already underway for Team 1. That Awasha Bomber, 98,000 mass. I mean, that's what's keeping Team 2 in the game, essentially, is just the oppressive nature of that bomber. Team 1, you need a way to counter it. I mean, AA is the idea, but maybe a salvation will do it. So, that's always a thing. We see more and more cruisers, more and more missiles being launched. These engineers really can't do anything. Bomb goes over the top, still alive. Trying to take out those air defenses. There's even an SMD up here. That's how committed the player of Zardos is to this position. He wants it to hold. The SMD will not cover a Billy Nuke, but it will cover a regular nuke, of course. There goes the bomb. ASFs for Team 1 finally engage it. They will destroy it on the upper plateau. Oh, it almost lands on the lower portion of the map. They finally felled it, but Team 2 used that bomber very effectively, and now we have a nuke over the top. This is going after SPCR. Something about Ryan needed a minute for something. Is it going for the rear? I think it is. There's a nice air grid being built, but I don't think it's going to last very long. Motions for those units to move. That's not what it's going after. There it goes. It's going to be a big explosion, and kaboom. Takes out most of the air grid, takes out the T3 land headquarters. So unless Team 1's play of SPCR has a backup one, he'll need to rebuild before he builds any additional land forces of the T3 variety. Team 2 still not really expanding their air grid, kind of satisfied with the size of it. Is building shields, which is a good idea, because at 37 minutes with no artillery, you would assume somebody would build artillery at this point. How's the salvation? Still in the red, not even close to 25%, so... Well, not even close, but it's at essentially 18%. So, it's coming along, but it's taking a while. Taking a long while just looking at anything else. There's any juicy plays. Satellite right here. Zardos has one of them already. Which just finished off, too. I don't like the positioning of it, only because it's so far forward. It's a satellite base. You don't need it to be on the front lines like you do if this was a 20 by 20. Some of the, the T3 RDs need to be a little bit closer to the front line to target everything in the opponent's base, but you know, this can just move anywhere on the map, so it's not really a big deal. But that satellite, you know, moving across the map, Team 2 really pumping out that Awasha, though, is already half done. They saw how beneficial the first one was. They need those shields. They have multiple nuke silos, though. One of them halfway done to loading its probably second one. And this one already halfway done loading its first one. That satellite, though, not looking too good here for Team 2. They need some shields. The comm of Raw is moving around here. Gamer 9's hanging out with his engineer buddies here. Lots of gunships down south, though. That chicken's hiding in the water. It's sub 5,000 hit points, but its head's above the water and notices, oh no, there's something incoming. That Galactic Colossus gets by that chicken, though. And that Galactic Colossus is pretty damaged. Looks like they had a fight earlier on, but didn't really go anywhere. And now that front line, again, falling once again. Broadsword's brought in to deal with the chicken. The chicken flees into the deeper depths of that land. Sorry, not land, that lake/pond. Still, the missile threat still annoying here for Team 2, but they're starting to manage it a lot better. And Team 1 launching another land invasion with a lot of Perseus and Titans in tow. Would like to see some Cougars for some AA coverage because they know Team 2 has a lot of air. And the fight to the south engages, I think. Will he continue it? Yes, he will. Gunships will get out of there. It's a Colossus versus a Colossus here. Those ASFs for Team 1's player of Signal Runner not being microed. And all of them are gone. The assistance of Team 2's player of Raw Legit's Air Forces is going to be enough. Are they going to just fully commit to this? There is some SAM coverage underneath. All the mass, of course, drops on Team 1's side of things. But if they just take out all the Air Forces for Team 1, not that it doesn't matter, but it does make a difference. The Colossus will die, but the second one will die for Team 1 as well. There it goes. Well, nope, it dies right before the broadswords finish it off. Do they kill it off? No, they don't. The broadswords will stay for a couple seconds. Oh, they should have stayed for like 5 more seconds and it would have been fine. A lot of broadswords were killed in that engagement. They didn't need to be. ASF should have just kept committing, but didn't want to fight over SAM coverage. I don't blame them there. Those broadswords are not getting away anytime soon. Those Air Forces from Team 2 should not have retreated. Oh, it's going to be essentially a draw here. Some gunships make it out of there, but is that a transport? Is that a transport assisting a Colossus? Buddy, you are too heavy. What? You are too heavy to lift. Maximum load exceeded. Cannot pick you up. I hear another Billy Nuke in the distance. Wait. No, someone hasn't died. Keiko. Don't want anybody to die. Oh yeah, there it is in the distance. That looks like a comm explosion though, but it's not. Maximum load has been exceeded, and there it goes. Transport's killed. That's funny. Yeah, that's a. Wait, no, was that a regular nuke? I don't know. I'm gonna say kaboom. Anyways, but Othams making their way across the map. Didn't really get a lot of damage done, but it just shows that Team 1 is vulnerable. They need more defenses. And that Colossus starting to wreak havoc on Team 1's eco, taking out those RASCOMs. It's 2.2, 2.1 to 2.2, so 100, maybe 150 mass between the two teams. This team, says Rosako. T2PD, says Maximus Buildmore T2PD there. We have T3 artillery from the way of this Duke here to the east from Team 2. We should see that Salvation be at least in the... Yeah, it's in the yellow and it's paused. It's building a Colossus for defense. That Colossus needs to move. It could deal a decent amount of damage and take out that Salvation. Does Team 2 know about it? They don't. They just know their shield coverage. Oh no, the Colossus. It isn't being microed as well. No, that's got to suck for that Colossus. Taking out some SAM sites, taking out RASCOMs. Oh, it needs to keep moving. You can't stop moving that thing. And that's just going to be death by 1,000 cuts. That's got to hurt. Team 1 has been able to recover here on the north. Airgrid getting, back up and running. T3 landed corners as well, but there it goes. It's not going to get any more work done. They waited too long. Definitely a disappointing sight to see that Colossus not be used to its full extent. Of course, we know what's there. Team 2 does not. Well, no, they do. They know it's there. They can see it. So, not a huge waste. But there's a lot of T2 gunships, Voltus, and Stingers. That is a dangerous grouping of units. Could go after some vital structures against Team 2. But 2 more Colossus in tow for Gamer 9. We do see pings going down for the Stone Anger. Maybe because it's loaded? That one is not loaded as well. The satellite is running around there. Second Duke coming online. Rascom production. The artillery is going after the air grid for Team 1's player of Maximus XXX, but it's going to take a little bit more than just one. Actually, lots of gunships covering the water here. Nice ASF grouping here from multiple teams. Now we have 3 players on Team 1 getting into the air game. Well, we have essentially just Hurry P focusing on Colossi and artillery. It's over 50% though. It's going to be a nice grab if Team 1 can get that online without Team 2 interfering. Looks like there was some damage from the satellite, but the nuke goes down. Well, one of them does at least. With the 2 satellites, it's got to hurt. It did have a nuke in its clip, silo, magazine, whatever you want to call it. Not silo, I guess, but clip sounds better for some reason. I don't know why. It just clip sounds better for referencing it that way. But just the horde of missiles constantly launching against the TMD, and especially with these Billy nukes, we have strap bombers being flown across the map to deal with these things. But there's so much air coverage. Not even worth it for the ASFs to engage. Pings go down to target the unshielded air grids. This is not looking good for Team 2. They had a nice momentum going. It's starting to fade. A lot more effort by Team 1 to go after that that air advantage, and just look at all these gunships. Look at them all. 86 gunships plus the additional probably 15 Voltus, so like 100 gunships in the middle. A lot of firepower. Even though they're T2, that's still a lot of firepower. You're not reclaiming gamer guys. ASF counts. II is what? I don't know what that's talking about. Anyway, defense is just being laid to bear here. But of course the cruisers can only go so far with their missiles. They can go, I think it's up to the yellow. So that's really about it. It does drop off. They need more longer range weaponry. The Billy nuke can go pretty far as well, but still it is limited in general. That's as far as he can go with that missile, so it's not great. The air grid is completely defended by shields now. Does look like the Novaxes are targeting the Dukes, but in this case, 3 shields needs 4 times the amount. Well, 3 times the amount. Needs 9 instead of 3. But against 2 satellites isn't too bad. But again, if they're targeting the Salvation, which is almost done, by the way. See, this is the amount of shielding you want just for 1 artillery. It's not going to get the bonus, as much bonuses from the P-gens, though. But it will get a decent amount of protection. There goes that thing. You can see the adjacency bonus activate. The turret, or the artillery, like the actual gun itself, is moving. We have 3 Colossus to the east. They're not really doing anything, though. Once again, Signal Runner going after this beach property. He really wants that property. Like a boardwalk in Monopoly. You really want that property. It, makes you a lot of money. It costs a lot of money, but is sometimes worth it, especially when there's a card that tells you to go there directly. Nuke is almost loaded here for Team 1. They're targeting the SMD. Team 2 needs to notice this and protect their SMDs. Those look like there's possibly a silo somewhere for Team 1, I would imagine. There goes another Billy nuke targeting whatever it can. Lots of air forces, a lot of gunships. They're going to go after those Colossus once they come out of the water. That is not going to look good for those Colossi. Nope, nope, nope. And of course, rapid fire artillery installations. We have torpedo bombers coming in to deal with these Colossus. Of course, they're going to walk out of the water, but then be exposed to gunships. So Not really a good trade there. Team 2 needs to get a handle on this ASF fight, distracting the ASFs here for Team 2. Trying to protect probably their gunship investment and corp investment, but it's not really an investment when you can't even use them. But Team 1's player of SPCR fending them off quite well, getting a nice engagement. Oh, it's just ASFs that don't need to die. Gunships dying for no reason. Notha's dying for no reason. Not looking good here for Team 2's Air Forces. They had a large lead very, not early on. I'd say 20 plus minutes to 30. I'd say 40 minutes, but, Team 1 really fought back in that regard. And the artillery cannot puncture those shields. A second one being built, because why not? And it does look like the Salvation takes out that Duke. Doesn't really do much to begin with anyways against that position. And now Team 2 has no way to fight back. Air Forces definitely reside in Team 1. You can see just the death by 1,000 cuts down here to the south. The Colossus will hide, but, there are Torp bombers nearby to help assist with dealing with those as well. So really, doesn't matter. Oh, there's another artillery install. No, that was just the last shot coming off of that Duke. Not looking good. I don't see any nukes, like regular nukes for Team 1. So, I understand taking out the SMD, but if you don't have a nuke to begin with, then it's kind of like, what's the point? Maybe you're trying to play, some psychological game where if you target the SMD team, the other team will think that you have a nuke kind of thing. But, if the other team's running intel constantly, they should know that you have it or not, which I don't see intel really being a case here for Team 2. We see a missile base up here to the northwest, and it's going after these T3 mechs. There goes another one. Nice distraction. Team 1 probably doesn't. Oh, nope, never mind. They noticed. Sorry. They mean to rat out Frost Monsters missiles, but eventually it was going to be found out, but literally was when I went to go look at it is when it was. And usually the case for casters that just, we make a comment about something and either it happens immediately gets destroyed, or it's just, kind of a moot point at that point. But the air grid being chewed up by that Salvation is designed to take out shields. It's because of its rapid fire nature and its spread. It doesn't do a lot of ground damage, but just does a heck of a lot of damage to shields. It keeps them offline, which is why they're very nice to have. That combined with an emissary is just deadly because of its secondary fire that happens. But look at how fast the second one's going up. All these RASCOMs just pumping those things out, and more shields. More and more shields. Love to see it, and isn't stopping. Like, oh, this is enough. It's like, no, more. We need more. We have Signal Runner in his nice little base with tele-defense. You don't really need tele-defense unless you're protecting against Aeon Calm sacrifice moves, but at that point, you need way more defenses to protect against a Colossus appearing in your base. But there goes the shield for the player of Rosako, and no one has died at almost 50 minutes. There is a nuke. Where is it? Oh, it's from Team 2. I was like, what's the only one with the nuke? It's going after this position. There is an SMD. It is not loaded. This one is not loaded as well. This could be the first kill of the game. The comm of Zardos is retreating. The comm of Maximus is not. And it's dropping. Oh, no. It's dropping too short. Oh. Severely missed up. Nuke going for Salvation or not. That is such a missed opportunity. Could have taken out satellites. The cruisers were not the package. Yeah, you took out some AA, but you could have taken out 2, 3 Novaxes and a comm, maybe 2 if he didn't leave, but SMD would have covered that Salvation anyways. It's just more and more Colossus to the east. But there's a chicken here to the east as well. 50 minutes, still no one has died. Very impressive from both teams staying alive. Use shields to kill mexes. Stop focusing on shield. Does look like Frost Monster has been noticed, and there he goes. Takes all those Voltus with him. He had some missile launchers. I noticed him earlier. Didn't make a comment about it. But at 50 minutes, 37 seconds, somebody dies. And will they do anything? They're going at... There's only 3 missiles that are launched. Another nuke launched in this position. It's not going to do anything. Taking out... Oh, it took out the SMD. That one's loaded, though. Will the second set take them out? You need to launch them now. If they're going to do anything, you need to launch them now. Ooh, shields being built as well. The nuke is going to get there before the missiles do. It was a good play, but just needed like a couple more missiles in about like another minute or so. Not looking good. There it goes. The second salvation is online. 2 get shot off. Oh, there's one hiding in here as well, so it really wouldn't have mattered. Definitely unfortunate here for Team 2. It was a good play. Just needed more time, and now the air grid is just going to get eviscerated. Shield's trying to hold on, but they just can't hold off against the firepower of 2 salvations. We have Billy nukes targeting units and other structures of the sort. The cleansing to the south by a bunch of T2 Stingers. ASF forces are coming in. There they go. Here's the big air fight, or another big air fight, I should say. Let me just turn off all the icons, all the stuff, and get a nice little viewing. Those gunships are not stopping to fire. They're just constantly raining into those units down there. And it's really not looking good for either team's air forces, essentially. It does look like Team 2 is starting to make some headway. It's hard to tell, though, because obviously the colors aren't there to determine who's who. But these are Team 2's, not Team 1's, not Team 2's. Team 2 just gets eviscerated. Air control is firmly in the hands of Team 1. And with, of course, 62 gunships with a heck of a lot of forces. It doesn't matter. Air forces from Team 1's SPR so doesn't care, just running in and killing anything at this point. I believe it's the beginning of the end here for Team 2. They had a decent thing going with that Awasha bomber, but just weren't making use in other fields of the map. We have a YOLO? It's not over? Wait, where? What? Oh, it's right here. Oh, look at that. There's a YOLO. That's interesting, but there's 2 salvations. That's not looking to feel good for those shields. Those shields are going down. The shields are going down. The shields are down. Oh, that's, yeah, that's the thing, huh? There goes that YOLO. You needed more shielding. 2. Oh, it's going to hurt. Oh, it's not over. We can't kill this. Already, where is it? Well, it's where it is. Oh, shield comes online. The YOLO's still online. It's loading its first nuke. It's almost there. Shield's still online. They're kind of just hot swapping who's on and who's off. Oh, I want to see at least one. I want to see at least one launch. They're trying to build more shields. Needs more shielding. You can't, you know, assist the shielding against salvations. It makes it very difficult. They're designed to counter that. You need to just build emplacements. So there's the YOLO. I know I'm focusing on only this, but I want to see it blow up. I'm going to switch back. Hold on. Push back from Team 1 to the north isn't really doing anything for Team 2, unfortunately. There are 3 Colossi to the south. We've known that for a while. The shield. Oh, it's finished the nuke. There it goes. It's launched 1. Oh, its hit points only 1,800 left. This position, it's being targeted. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 SMD now. They're all trying to be loaded. There's only 2 loaded so far. And so they're really trying to speed that process up. So if a second missile gets through, they'll be able to take out that artillery. But shield's still coming down. Oh, and there it goes. There goes the YOLO. And there's a chicken nearby, because why not, for defense. But there it goes. Awasha killed by Sat. Oh, that's saddening. Oh, look at that. That's just sad. And raw legit control Ks. He sees this game is over against 2 salvations. It's really hard to fight against it with anything shielded. And gunships just roaming the top. Broadswords. The Awasha goes up and then goes back down. And that Awasha, it's definitely disappointing to watch my favorite air unit just be eviscerated by both. Oh, it didn't even get to do anything. It died. Sure, yeah, I'm making any. It says, what? What's that going on? Roscoe, the amount of time you spent when you could help, you sure, yeah. Greatest, okay. I mean, Raw Legit do a pretty nice job this game. There goes another explosion. Looks like it is Ryan. Yep, he decides to control K as well. We still have Gamer9 running around the map down there. There goes another player on Team 2. It's Rosako. And I'm assuming Gamer9, I had so much air control just to lose. Yep. You definitely had a lot of air control. GG's out here from SBCR. We have gunships trying to do what they can against their opponents. But now it's a 5v1. Can Gamer9 Triple X pull a rabbit out of a hat and win this game? Colossus are running in, though. There is a possibility that those artillery will go down. Oh, the lasers. They're puncturing the shields. Oh, the first one in line. Come on. I want to see one blow up. I want to see one blow up. There it goes. They took one out. Okay, keep going. You got to keep moving. Got to keep moving. Got to keep moving. The second one, you just keep moving. Just keep going under the shields. Oh, look at this. The two Colossi we've seen ages ago. They take out the second artillery. Now imagine if that YOLO had stayed online. That would have been very, very nice. And there is a nuke nearby. Both of those Colossus go down. P-Gen, it collapses but doesn't do a lot of damage. A chicken is en route with a bunch of Autumn support. There's a lot of pressure from the air. Oh, that was a nice grab by Team 2. If not, it's a type of victory where it's a, oh shoot, I forget what the name is called, but it's like it's not a real it is a real victory, but it's a, oh shoot, I forget what the name is. It's emotional victory. I forget what it's called. Anyway, by taking out those two salvations, you know, it's a nice consolation prize. That's the word for it. And there goes the calm of Team 2's Gamer9 Triple X. He wanted to kill those salvations. He did the job. His chicken died. But just, you know, Team 2 was leading the game in air for a long time. Team 1 decided to deny that for a long time and just build up land forces, build up their own air grids. Team 2 wasn't able to pressure them enough in the air, and so they ended up just collapsing. I do love the YOLO. Love to see that. Didn't even notice it for like the entire game, so because it just blended with the air grid. But, you know, it couldn't stay online long enough. Had the shields lasted 4 minutes more, it would have, you know, done a huge amount. I do feel like, though, even if the YOLO stayed online, I do feel like Team 1 would have just built whatever they could and just shoved it. So it would have made the game go longer for sure, but it's it is a nice like what if scenario to think about. But no one died on Team 1. It is a flawless victory for them, so good on them. They didn't let any of their players, but none of their players decided to be super risky. Of course, we had that early, you know, position here for 2 players, one left, and then the other one eventually left. That was a very good decision. We had, you know, 2 owl washers almost to field for Team 1. We have Zardos in the middle just being annoying with all of his, you know, satellites and positioning up here. And in terms of MVP or underrated player of the game award, I mean, I feel like in terms of underrated player, I think I'm going to give it to Zardos, I think. He held the middle for like the entire game. Really, it wasn't really used by Team 2 anyways. Maximus built a tactical nuke and was just being annoying the entire game, which is, you know, a good move, but he got some air forces up online. So essentially his 2 plays were Billy Nuke and air, which is, you know, still good. He was using his cruisers as well to just annoy the land over here to the east. That was a good thing from him. SPCA took a while to build up, took a while to get his feet wet, but was able to, you know, hold off the north for a while. It was essentially just a gentleman's agreement to just kind of hang out. There was some momentum starting to occur for Team 2, but it wouldn't really have mattered. Maybe they would have gotten close to the main base, but didn't really do as much as, you know, really Team 2 really needed. Had they been, you know, taking out the entire base of SPCR, maybe I keep saying SPCA, but SPCR, maybe would have seen a, you know, a shift in Team 2, but for Team 2, it's hard to tell. Team 1, you know, still at 2.3. Team 2 was losing a lot of their eco as well. But yeah, I think underrated player of the game award does go to Zardos. He was very solid. He's being very, you know, decently aggressive with his comm. He built a nice fire base here. Like, he did really nice work. So I think I'm going to give it to Zardos this game. Am I wrong? Am I right? Let me know down in the comments down below. Like the video if you found it very enjoyable. And, of course, if you haven't hit that sub button, I would greatly appreciate a subscription to the channel. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your time and listening to my little ramblings at the end of my video, and I will see all of you in the next one.